I started this journey over a year ago. I've battled Margaret, pharaohs, dragonkin. I've broken ancient curses and bargained with an elder god. I've helped a farmer murder dozens of innocent civilians and feed them to his pigs. Every quest was a joy. Well, every quest was at least an experience, but that experience ends this episode. I have just 3 quests left. 3 quests until that sweet quest cape is earned. 3 quests until I get to do something different with my RuneScape life. Desperate times, desperate measures, and the recently added Violet is Blue too. Let's get started. Desperate times. You might remember back from Sliske's endgame, the Elder Gods are finally awake, and the entire universe is now living on borrowed time. Jas challenged us to prove our worthiness, to prove that we had a right to exist and not be swept away with the dust and detritus of this world as the Elder Gods prepare to build a new one. Desperate times, indeed. Luckily, Seren has a plan. She's going to build a garden. Now, this might sound like a weak plan, but seriously guys, it's going to be a really great garden. No, wait, hear me out. It'll be amazing. Just like the greatest garden. No way that won't impress Jas. Anyway, the idea sucks. There's no denying it. It somehow manages to be even worse than Zaraz's idea to just ask to become an Elder God, but RuneScape is a linear game, so no matter how terrible the idea is, we just have to go along with it. First, we need to build the garden. So Seren has summoned everybody who is anybody to Berthop to help. No idea why she's picked Berthop. Maybe it's so she can watch level 3s train agility from the window when she gets bored. We need to get seeds, a workforce, and a place to plant them. And in the spirit of diversity, we need to get each of these from a different group. Okay, so we're going to plant experimental Zerosian seeds in Ooglog using zombies. No, wait, apparently that was not a good solution. It turns out this whole exercise falls down because no one can actually agree on how the garden should be built. Look, I knew the idea was bad. I knew it wasn't going to work. But I thought it would fall down when Jas took one look at the garden and backhanded us into oblivion because why on earth would you be impressed by a garden? It's a bunch of flowers. I didn't realize the idea sucked because we actually can't build a garden. Maybe we don't deserve to survive. But wait, super scientist extraordinaire Karapak turns up with his own solution. The Dragonkin have had a negative experience of begging for mercy, as the last time they tried they got tortured for eternity. So he plans to fight back. He wants to use the needle when the needle skips to siphon anima away from the Elder Gods, draining them of energy and sending them into a coma they can't wake up from. Honestly, a better plan than horticulture. I mean, literally anything was a better plan than planting a garden. Inviting Jas to snort lines of cocaine off a stripper was a better plan than Seren's. Why does Karapak look cooler every single quest though? I haven't even been able to leave my house for a haircut in 10 months, and the Dragon King get new makeovers like they're competing on RuPaul's Drag Race. It turns out Karapak actually needs our help though. He doesn't have the skill set to overpower the needle's defenses and bend it to his will, but he knows someone who does. The legendary and elusive Karos, inventor of the infamous Ring of Karos that lets you access dead agility content in Canifits. Unfortunately, no one's seen Karos in decades. Luckily, we just have to solve some riddles and push some stones and boom! Karos' secret identity revealed. None other than Reldo? The librarian? You know what, didn't see that coming. Hey, Skyrim references. Anyway, with Karos and Karapak's combined power, plus Thok doing something, we're ready to finally turn the needle's power against the Elder Gods. I just need to tune the needle, which it turns out is another handy tool from the devs for lore exposition. You revisit the past. You view significant events and memories through the needle. You see the final conversation between Guthix and Sliske, where Guthix accepts his death as necessary, required to create us, the World Guardian.
But it must be done, and it must be by your hand.
You move through Guthix's other memories, and it's mostly world-building stuff, details on the other gods in the edicts. Guthix, or at least whatever fragment of Guthix still exists in these memories, considers his life and his legacy. Guthix has always been one of the sadder gods in RuneScape, paralyzed by choice. Aware that his actions have consequences he can't foresee, he hid away, sleeping. But in death, he's realized that even removing himself from the world was itself a conscious choice, with its own ripples and ramifications that he regrets. His final action was to move this burden to us, in our new role as a World Guardian, to hopefully make the choices he didn't know how to make, to hopefully leave his legacy to be forgotten. Then we see Sliske plotting on how to bring about another God Wars, and we see Kerapak doing scheming of his own as he plans to destroy the Stone of Jas and free himself from its power. And finally we must help Kerapak defeat Gale, the Guardian of the Needle, through mostly turning these little crystals in a Within the Light style puzzle sequence, which I'm kind of glad about. Knowing that Gale is actually a 10-year-old girl with some kind of terminal sickness would make wailing on her with the Sun Spear feel a little hollow. I mean, I would still do it, but I'd feel bad about it. After we finish shooting the needle, we do gain some more insight, and this time it's not just world building about Gothics, it's critical foreshadowing. We hear Kerapak discussing Orthan, his ancient home with his son Rysendithus? Something like that. I've only seen it written down, and admit that he needs to return there to complete his plan. And then you find another memory, Rysendithus confronting his father. He's uncovered Kerapak's master plan to defeat the Elder Gods, and he's uncovered the cost, destroying all of Gielinor. One world to save the universe? A simple equation for Kerapak, less simple for us and everyone else on Gielinor who's going to die. We also get to see another use of Jagex' new graphic novel style quest narration, which I am completely on board with.
The World Guardian arrived just too late. Kerapak's plan had worked flawlessly.
Yeah, so we've fucked up a little, and not for the first time as a World Guardian. I still feel a little bad about all those monks that got killed in Devious Mines. Sometimes I wonder if I should employ at least some critical thinking and not always believe everything I'm told at face value. Does RuneScape have insight checks? Is that a different game? But anyway, I get 60k Herbal XP and RuneScape gets Anachronia, so worth it, I guess? Now in theory I should wait 13 months before playing the follow-up here, Desperate Measures, really maintain that account integrity. But instead, I'm just going to do it instantly. I lied. I'm going to do what I should have done after Fate of the Gods and get my 200k Divination XP from taking the measure around Gielinor. I'm doing that now, and then I'm moving on to Desperate Measures. So I've been resummoned by Saren. Karos and Thok have been busy researching Anachronia in the 40 minutes since I finished Desperate Times. Look, this probably made more sense if you're doing the quest on release, okay? There was actually a year-long gap. Anyway, I'm off to catch up and see what they found. Mostly they seem to have been arguing because Thok is just very annoying, and Thok gives you a rundown of their time on the island so far. After landing on the beach, Thok does push-ups, then Thok kills dinosaurs, then Thok kills more dinosaurs, then Thok meets Laniaka, launcher of 1,000 pieces of erotic fan art, and finally meets Kerapak himself, who acts all evil. All of this is narrated by Thok, so it's unclear how much of it actually happened. Since then, they've been looking for Kerapak and haven't found him. Wait, was this really all you did in a year? 40 minutes is starting to make more sense now. Using the incredible archaeology skill released in between Desperate Times and Desperate Measures, we find some ancient artifacts and decode them with Karos' help. We then team up with Hannibus, who's come here to uncover more of the island's mystery, which we discover to be Orthan, ancient and mythical city of the Dragonkin. We find out that, originally, there were 4 Dragonkin factions, or castes. The Dactyl, Orthan's scientists, the Certes, Orthan's philosophers, the Nodon, builders and architects, and the Algra, who were mystics and explorers. The leaders of these factions each made up the Kindred Council. This was before the Dragonkin had become enslaved to the Stone of Jas, but after the Great Revision by the Elder Gods, which had destroyed the previous universe the Dragonkin came from. All the remaining Dragonkin had survived by escaping into the Abyss, and then coming back out into the new worlds the Elder Gods were creating. You see the Kindra discussing what to be done about the Elder Gods. Kerapak wants to fight them. Sarkith bargained with them. Other Dragonkin want to bide their time and research them. You don't learn the final decision, but you do learn that Kerapak is building a device, one that he thinks will elevate the Dragonkin in their power, so that they will rival the Elder Gods as equals. And it was this device that brought the wrath of the Elder Gods down on the Dragonkin, destroying Orthan and enslaving the remaining dragonkin to be its guardians. It's weird to think it's been 13 years since the dragonkin first became major players of RuneScape lore in While Gothic Sleeps, but we're only just beginning to really understand their history. Unfortunately, none of this knowledge actually helps you fight Karapak, who is now invulnerable, his mastery of time allowing him to simply undo any hostile action against him. So this is the point we finally all admit we're out of ideas and just ask Jas what we should do. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest. We're supposed to be showing our worth, and instead we're asking for help, like we're kids stuck on our homework. Jas explains that she can turn the needle off and stop Karapak's plan, but Karapak is using something called shadow anima, a substance anathema to the Elder Gods, and preventing them taking control of the needle. Jas gives us an item. If we can somehow get in ourselves and find a way through the shadow anima, then we can use this item to turn off the needle. Otherwise, she's going to obliterate the whole island and everything on it. Seems fair enough. Also, we get to fight some dinosaurs, because, well, I guess it's just pretty cool. We also learn something interesting. People have been throwing around the term anima for years in RuneScape, and using it to mean all sorts of things. Magic's anima, people are anima, frosted cupcakes are anima. Everything seems to be made of or interacting with anima in some sense in RuneScape. The shadow anima introduced in Desperate Times is new though, and different. The antimatter to our universe's matter, if you would. Karos tells us something he's noticed. He can sense shadow anima within our soul. And it kind of makes sense. Our resistance to the divine is just a byproduct of our shadow anima nature. Divine magic is, after all, just the manipulation of anima, and is unable to interact with the shadow anima inside us. But wait a second, it was clearly Gothics who did this, right? Gothics' World Guardian powers are the shadow anima enchantment that protects us. But how much did Gothics know about this? No one's ever mentioned shadow anima before now, not even Zaros or Seren or Gothics himself. This revelation only seems to raise more questions than it answers. We then fight another Blackstone dragon, because Karapak is legitimately incapable of learning from his mistakes. And that's it. Karapak won't back down, and why would he? He's the hero of his own story, ready to destroy this world to save countless others. An eternity of torture and enslavement at the hands of Jas, giving him the conviction he needs to make the sacrifice without hesitation or regret. It's hard not to feel pity for Karapak. He's not the cartoon villain that Sliske is, monologuing about chaos and boredom and the futility of free will, like an edgy teenager who's just discovered Nietzsche. He's someone who's had whatever humanity and mercy he once had, stripped from him by the abuses of the Elder Gods. Someone who's so desperate and afraid of falling back under their control that he'll commit any act, cross any line, justify any crime, in the quest for a greater good, their destruction. But it's not to be. Karapak's already lost, and he just doesn't know it yet. We activate the artifact Jas gave us, and Jas regains control of the needle, and Karapak by extension. Exactly as before, Karapak's quest to escape from the shadow of the Elder Gods only results in losing his own freedom. There's nothing left for us but to collect our rewards. 40k XP, as well as unlocking the new Effigy Incubator D&D, the ability to collect the Remo Totem, which helps with activating all the other totems in Anachronia that I haven't actually bothered collecting yet, and the Cosmic Focus, which gives you a passive buff to archaeology when it's in your inventory. Let's be clear, Desperate Times and Desperate Measures are both awesome and powerful quests, and among the best of what the 6th Age lore has to offer. The story definitely isn't finished though, and we'll have more on that at the end of this episode. Well, this has all been a little heavy, so time for a quest that wasn't in my plans originally because I had no idea it was coming out. Violet is Blue 2. Sequel to Violet is Blue, Violet is Blue 2 was released like, 3 days ago at the time of recording, and takes you back to the land of snow. Both of the Violet quests are adorable. They're so sweet you feel like it should be annoying, but for some reason it just isn't. I also want to know which of the JMods channel their inner 5-year-olds to do these drawings. They're amazing. Looking at my Koppesh just clipping through the door like that as I turn up at Violet's house after 4 years Reminds me of how absolutely terrifying it must appear to every NPC. Oh god, the glowing eyes. These strangely thick thighs. Maybe I need to rethink my fashionscape. Yes, Santa does use the chimney, little girl. It's death that comes by the front door. Anyway, Violet isn't scared of me and is no less cute than she was last time. And the Land of Snow is no less beautiful. I do like the fact that they've actually made Violet a little bit older and changed how she acts to reflect that. The passage of time in Runescape can sometimes be a little inconsistent, so it's a nice detail that Violet isn't stuck as an eternal infant like a snow-themed Peter Parker. This year, the problem that we're solving is the disaster that is the Eddie Town's Christmas Festival, where the decorations have been destroyed by the useless, if well-intentioned, snow imps. It's a welcome change from the moral relativism of Karapak and the Elder Gods. We fix the tree, put up fresh decorations, and recover Santa's naughty and nicest. And finally, decorate the tree itself by launching implings at it? Or just chucking them? Well, Christmas is saved. Also, Violet gets a bucket helmet. I forget why that bit happened. And here it is, the last quest completion screen of my journey, for now at least. There are always more quests, but I can't think of a better way to finish the quest series than in the Land of Snow during Christmas, even if no one's going to see this until January. And so I have the Questscape, and yet there is just so much lore still to uncover, so many secrets to reveal, even if much of it is still buried in the minds of the JMods and Jagex HQ. I am super excited for future quests that are going to come out, and there's some major and exciting threads to follow. Who and what is Zautek? He's clearly not your run-of-the-mill god, able to enter Gielinor even when the Edicts of Guthix were still in effect. Another Elder God maybe? Or something else entirely? I certainly don't know, but I'm excited to find out. And how do we resolve the issue of the Elder God's awakening? We're on a clock, and Zaren's big brain move of making a garden is not working. There's definitely other questlines still to pursue as well. Are we ever going to see Arpasandra, home of the evil gnomes? And what about the future of Mauritania under its fragile peace? Feel free to leave any questline you're excited about in the comments. Next episode, I'll be moving on to my next goal for this account, which involves lots and lots of Slayer tasks. Stay safe, and see you next time.